Okay, so I did say I was gonna do this, and I really don't have a solid list of characters I would like to see. But if DOA were to absolutely do, collaboration characters, guest characters for DOA 7, who would I like to see get jumped in? Now, I'll keep it very much that. There is obvious people that have collabed with DOA in the past and stuff like that. And while some picks are good, some picks will be kind of challenging because some of those characters from those universes uses weapons, and obviously while yes, you do get characters to use weapons in DOA, that's not the main stature of how they kind of fight, right? Like DOA usually typically does not bring in the characters with weapons to just do all the work for them and all that sort of stuff, right? It's usually typically hand-to-hand combat. So unless you're going to do a slight bit of weaponry and you're going to change up certain characters to a degree to be still more, hand-to-hand combat, that's the only possible way when it comes down to it, right? Mostly, let's try to keep this as hand-to-hand as possible, which will omit some of my, characters I would choose, which I will still tell you, but ultimately, that's just the way I would see it. Now, first things first, you want to really blow my socks off? You really want to send me going far away like Bardock did to Frieza, or at least he tried to, then he got blown away himself? Essentially, you put in Senran Kagura. I'm not shitting you. Put in an actual Senran Kagura character. Not no cosmetics, not no costumes, an actual Senran Kagura character. And you already should know which character I would probably put in to make actual logical sense, and that's Katsuragi. Katsuragi easily should be in DOA 7. That makes so much sense. A representation of that character would fit very dang well, right? Would it be weird to see realistic Katsuragi and not anime Katsuragi? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a little weird, but at the very same time, I feel like you could do it if you want to. I don't think it'll be that damn crazy when it comes down to it. Would she probably fit in a more older game with a more, like DOA 4 with their art style? Oh, absolutely. But to keep it very much a stack, Katsuragi fitting in, or a Senran Kagura character fitting in, I could see it. I think it'll be kind of alright. I don't think it's going to be, absolutely the worst thing in the world. Now, would Katsuragi be my first pick? Absolutely not. My first two picks would be like maybe like a Yagyu or a Haikage, but they use weapons mainly. The only character I could probably think of that probably would be fine and not use weapons would be like Hibari, but she fights a little too clumsily. So maybe not Hibari, but that would be basically my options if not Katsuragi. My next character would be possibly somebody from Tekken, right? I think that would be fine. Considering also that a lot of the devs from the Tekken 8 team were also DOA devs from, the previous game. I think that would be pretty dang good to bring something on board from them. And I think that would be a solid thing to kind of do. So the big question, who in the mother of flip for Tekken would join DOA if that was the case? Really, the only character that goes into my brain that I would like to see more out of anybody would be a lot Elisa, just straight up. That would be like the one. That would be like the one character, right? Because she fits DOA kind of well, and I feel like her and Neo Tengu would probably have some type of weird interaction. Maybe I feel like that would fit well for her. So I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh yeah, I can't see maybe anybody from Tekken to join in. No, I could very much vouch for and feel the idea that, Eliza would come through. I feel like that would make so much more sense than anything in the world, right? Now, granted, obviously you have other good picks, like you could put Asuka in there, you could easily put, like Xiao Yu in there. Like, there's a lot of picks, but I'm also kind of thinking, alright, would Tekken really use certain characters for DOA like that? Would they really let their characters look kind of crazy out there in Tekken attire in some shape and form? I don't know, and I don't know if that's going to be something they're allowed to do. So, I feel like with Eliza, there's a bit more, leniency there. She hasn't appeared in a lot of different games, and to keep it very much stacked, why not? I feel like that's like if you're going to use a character for that reason, to put them in skimpy whatever outfits or whatever, I feel like that would be fine. So go ahead and just straight up do that. Now, if we get one more character on the, Tekken side of things, on the male side of things, because yeah, sure, why not? Let's add a male guest character in there too. Give me Lee Chaolon.
Excellent.
I know that's probably the stupidest ask of all time. I know it would probably be ridiculous, but to keep it very much a stack, I would love to see it. Just because I feel like he fits in the DOA universe so damn well, right? He would basically make Zack look like an idiot, and honestly, I would love to see that. So, to keep it very much a stack, I would definitely say Lee Chaolon should be in there. Now, to keep it very much a stack, I've been giving pretty much safe answers as to what I feel like could happen and what I feel like would be a reasonable, pick of a character to kind of get put in there in some shape or form. Because I feel like that's somewhat how you have to sort of think about it, but at the same time, it's no fun if you don't throw in your own weird shit as well when it comes down to it. The next one is probably also another FGC pick, and probably my last safe FGC pick for sure. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that we haven't really seen this company collab at all with Tecmo whatsoever. But give me something from Capcom. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, anybody from Street Fighter. No. Street Fighter has a certain prestige. They have a certain reputation that I feel like they wouldn't want to chuck anybody from Street Fighter's universe to the DOA one. Even though I feel like that would be fine. I feel like that would be great. But I don't see a realistic reality where that happens. So, let's go pick another fighter that they have. I wouldn't think it'd be anybody from rival schools, because outside of Akira, I don't think most modern people know who anybody from rival schools is. So, let's go with a classic pick, and let's just go to Darkstalkers and pick Morgan. I feel like that would be a fun time. People still love Morgan. People still get horny for that. So why not? Drop Morgan into the DOA universe. I feel like she'll also fit in pretty damn well. Or either her or Felicia. Give out one of those two characters. I feel like you would do very damn well either, regardless, because both of them very much fit in. Hell, if you want to put both of them in there, I'm not going to be too mad at that. But when it comes down to it, somebody from Darkstalkers should fit in, right? One of those two characters. I feel like that would be the case. Now, I feel like we should also consider some mobile games to be in the fray, right? Now, to keep very much a stat, the weird thing about this is that there's a lot of big ones that's out there that usually is in the hands of China when it comes down to it. And let's be honest, they probably wouldn't choose to pick their character to be in a game where raunchy characters could look crazy and all that sort of stuff, and, whatever way they do. But let's be also real here, too. Some of them China does, for sure, they very much down bad for certain characters as well, as we have seen through many different games that exist over there when it comes down to it, right? So, to give very much a stack, while I definitely would love to see somebody from, Hoya versus lineup to get chucked in there, maybe Nicole from, Zenless Zone Zero for 5 seconds to get chucked up in there in some weird ass way. As much as I would love to see something like that, that's probably not going to happen. Same thing with Wuthering Waves. As much as I could also agree that yes, maybe Lupa getting chucked in there, I would love to see. I feel like that would be a nice fit. I don't think they're gonna effing do that. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna put those in there, but those would be my suggestions, if anything. But I do feel like we do have a few options though. One game I would probably say that would probably fit, a style like DOA extremely well, and very much would be catering to a very specific niche if it were to happen, but Brown Dust 2, obviously. I feel like any character from Brown Dust 2 fitting into DOA would literally be right at home, if not even more so, right? I don't really think you need to throw Justia in there. I don't think you need to just focus the main girl to be in there, because she fights with a sword mostly, so, you could probably find somebody in there that would be okay with just hand-to-hand combat. But when it comes down to it, though, yeah, I feel like somebody from Brown Dust 2 would be absolutely pretty much on par with what we're looking at. Now, for me personally, we should already know this point. If you pick Big Buddha Zenith, that's an instant win for me. That's a go. Let's go home. We won sort of situation, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't choose that. I would probably maybe could see the line of someone like Rubia, maybe, or maybe someone of the same sort of sense, like, I don't know, maybe Sylvia could possibly be in there, but that wouldn't be my first dang choice if I'm going to be absolutely honest. Maybe, I don't know, there's probably other characters I'm not even thinking of that's probably would be making more sense to be in there. Morphia, is that her name? I'm not sure. But when it comes down to it though, again, those would be like the picks I would say maybe that would make the most sense for VD2 to get in there in some shape or form. Another game, and more so focused on the JP side of, I would say, games when it comes down to the gacha side, and this is something they would never pick. And it's a damn shame they would never pick this, because they both have ninjas in it, and I don't see why they wouldn't do this. Maybe the old, Koei Tecmo would do this. Maybe the old Team Ninja will be hella down for this. But new Team Ninja, they would never do this. So this is just me being wishful. But what if you chucked in somebody from Time Asagi? I know, I am aware, I understand, but they also have their own games too. They also have their own like action games that don't even have those specific elements into it for real. So why not chuck in someone like Asagi? Why not chuck in Sakura in there? I feel like those two would be like the perfect candidates again for a DOA, for a waifu fighter. I'm just saying that sounds like it makes the most sense. Like you could literally have like I don't know what the clan is in Time and Asagi at all, but basically you could have whatever clan exists for Time and Asagi versus the Mugen Tenshin clan. I feel like that would be something that is just printing money high key when it comes down to it. Plus they kind of somewhat have the same ish color scheme kind of going on to a degree, so why not? Again, this is something that would never happen in the old days. Absolutely, I could probably see it, but within the days that we have now, oh no, this wouldn't even begin to happen. But it would be a cool idea, and also kind of reiterates a point I want to make out through this whole dang video, which is essentially you can use niche characters and you could still win. I feel like a lot of people are just trying to jump to the most known characters and stuff like that. You could be a niche fighter, which DOA is, and essentially you can have them to have niche characters come through that no one would ever expect or even know who they are, and I feel like you would still get, as long as the gameplay is good and they look good, I feel like you could get people in the door with just niche characters that people have never heard of from series maybe they aren't aware of when it comes down to it, right? I feel like you can absolutely do that. And yeah, obviously this would probably piss off the FGC, but to keep it very much a sec, I feel like it's kind of needed at times. I feel like you just can't please them all the way at times, because ultimately, that's why most fighting games don't make a lot of like people money when it comes down to new people coming in terms of like trying to something out and seeing what it is. And you don't need to change again the identity of what a game is. You just need to cater it to people that maybe have never seen it before, and maybe if you choose something that is niche as hell, like I didn't think, maybe Kim Pine, for example, was going to get into DOA, but hey, I'm here for it. Now, granted, would that ever happen? No. Do I want that to happen? Personally, no, despite how fine Kim Pine is, but no. But when it comes down to it, though, something like that, right? People would be kind of like, what? That's a thing? You can do that? Okay, DOA, I underestimated your ball game of knowledge here, right? Which is why the last game is such a me answer of a character crossover, but at the end of the day, would I love to see this? Oh, abso-freaking-lutely. And that is easily pick somebody from Danganronpa. Literally pick somebody from Danganronpa. I promise you, it would be an amazing time. And you have at least 3 options of who you could choose in this, right? Unless you want to go for a totally unique style of how that character would be and how they would operate. You have at least 3 different options, potentially 4 if you want to get creative, right? You have Maki, you got Tenko, you got Akane, which would be my personal pick, and then maybe even Shiaki because she's, related to game stuff, right? You can easily just say, well, she just got teleported from somewhere in the Dangan universe into this DOA game and she just operates here, right? There's easy story points you can kind of point into. So that would be my me answer. I would mainly choose Akane because I feel like she's probably the better fighter out of anybody in the group. Probably the best fighter out of all the characters, if I'm going to be honest. Tenko, yeah, sure. I'm feeling like people will be very much down bad for Tenko, and, despite her whole male-hating ass sort of mentality, I feel like a lot of people will be down for Tenko, and I'm not mad at that. Maki will probably be my second pick, if I'm going to be absolutely honest, because I feel like she could probably do some things regarding hand-to-hand combat. I'm pretty sure she knows how to fight in that regard. Would I love to see her out? Absolutely. But to keep it very much a stat, I would still choose Akane, right? I would say Akane probably be the pick I would choose the absolute most. And oh boy, oh yes, for sure they can fit in the DOA universe. Anything regarding Danganronpa, I feel like they could, fit into any universe if you try hard enough. Or maybe not even try hard at all, because these characters are weird. They do a bunch of weird things. They're involved in a lot of stupid, crazy things. And ultimately, I do feel like you could just easily let them in the universe and they just do whatever. Stop! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait your bitch ass a minute! Ain't no damn way I talked about DOA 7, talk about all these guest characters, and then I ended off with Dangan? Like, sure, yes, I still want that. But ultimately, what about Rumble Roses? That's also a game that could add, characters into there too. I am not that familiar with it. I have played it a little bit when I was a kid, but that was literally about it. But you have Rumble Roses though. Literally a game that is possibly niche among niche that is niche that has never been niched before. And to keep it very much a stack, that would fit in so much with DOA just as much as well as literally anything else I've said on this damn list, right? Do I think it's a possibility? Honestly, it could be. It would be dead ass one of the cooler things that they could do. But to be honest, will they do it? That's just a thing that we're just tossing into the air right there. But yeah, Rumble Roses, put some representation on them in general, because yeah, no one thinks about that game. No one thinks about them at all, and they are fully valid to be here. Like, they're also within the realm of fitting in with DOA very nicely as well, and it's baffling how no one has really talked about an idea of bringing that in there. So, this is how it is for me. So, wanted to add that in, because what the hell was I thinking making this whole ass video and not giving you any sort of Rumble Roses representation? The hell is wrong with me? But that's pretty much all I got to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the button notification on the way out. Also on my socials, and if I do that, the channel, Kofi Cash App is available as well. And until then, Boy J, sign off. Have a stay.